objects onto the floor. Curiously, the sound of those hitting the floor and the roar of the specter in the hallway next to her reveal bits and pieces of the room to her, a picture of what her eyes used to see. And very soon she puts two and two together. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joshua Ray, lead designer at Sonar Studios. And we are proud to present you our game and Caden's newfound power, Sonar. Where you play as Caden trapped in the standard underground research facility where your objective, deactivate all the lockdown switches that control the elevators and ride them to the surface to freedom. So, I bet you're wondering where we got this crazy idea, right? Well, right here. It's not very surprising, actually. This black screen, this lovely black screen. When the year originally started, I knew I wanted to use sound in some interesting way, but I didn't have any ideas. I was fresh out, and I was very convinced I'd be coming in and showing our TAs this black screen. So I said, hey, why not start there? You know, inspiration just comes from wherever, right? So, in one hand, I had sound. In the other, I had a black screen. Effectively, what if my sound could help me color the screen, or maybe I could start singing with my sounds, and then boom, I have my game mechanic. Sing sounds. Whenever Caden hears anything that makes a noise, a mental picture is formed in her head, allowing her to effectively see the terrain and maneuver about it. These sounds range from footsteps, radio, specter roars, and even her own voice. When I mean her own voice, I mean your voice, the player's voice. Our game currently utilizes a microphone, so when you actually speak into it, it will reveal a larger area of terrain around you for you to see. Sweet. So, we are currently using Microsoft Speech API to recognize the voice engine that is used in the game. So when you actually want to open a password-protected door, you have to go collect the password and then speak it in front of the door in order for it to open. Our microphone did give us some interesting design challenges. One being is we didn't realize how uncomfortable players would get speaking into a microphone. So we had to actually find ways to encourage players to speak and understand that it was actually very beneficial to them. Because surprisingly enough, when you give players the ability to say absolutely anything in the world in every dictionary whatsoever, they say nothing. And that was very frustrating to deal with. But despite these challenges, we did have some interesting immersion come about. Because the microphone is running at all times, when players are actually hiding from specters, we've caught our play testers actually holding their breath so they wouldn't get caught breathing. So, what are the specters? I've been talking about them, I've mentioned them a lot. The specters are a subterranean gaseous species that are able to extend their lives by possessing humans. After doing so, they can manipulate the body into various forms and shapes and sizes with different abilities. Some like to stalk and play mind games in the silence, while others like to form from multiple bodies and become a walking manifestation of the Hulk. So, the question then becomes, how does Caden defend herself from the Hulk? Well, the first thing she can do is she can hide. Like, if she's not being heard or seen, it's all fine, everything's peachy and dandy. But if she needs to maneuver around, she can walk in a sneaky manner, in which she would not be making as much sound not to alert specters. She can also run, not the best option in the world because it does make a lot of sound, but if she just needs to get around that corner into a safe hiding spot, perfectly viable option. But if this all fails, Caden can actually speak the specter language and remove them from her body, but if that fails and push comes to shove, she can scream at the top of her lungs at the risk of alerting the entire level of all the other specters and forcibly remove them from her body. These defenses give her just enough tools to make it to the lockdown switch. The lockdown switch, each level has its own lockdown switch that prevents her from progressing towards the surface. Once deactivated, she can then ride the elevators up one more floor to freedom while listening to a rather jaunty tune from one of our composers. So, wait a minute, Josh. You need sound to see, but that same sound attracts specters. Assuming they have not already seen you and are charging at you to begin with, well, exactly. We wanted to put players in an interesting position where they had to rely exclusively on sound. We wanted to see just how stealthy a player could be while still making noise. So, let's check out some gameplay footage. So just to recap, we have our voice engine right here, and we have our radios that when activated can show terrain in a remote location. Here we have actually a lot going on. This player is sneaking around one particular specter and using the footsteps of the other to track its location and maneuver around it. Here we have our password-protected doors. They collected it off a dead janitor and are proceeding to the passworded door to open it with the password terrace. The Stalker is one of my favorite specters. It likes to hide in silence, but if you give it a mean stare down, it will back away. But this does not work for all specters, and in this case, you'll actually have to run and hide. And this is where we found our players holding their breaths. Because again, too much sound is not a good thing. Too much sound will alert all the specters in the room, and getting punched and rammed and possessed is not a great strategy. You'll just wind up dead. But if you use noise correctly, you will make it out of the level safe and sound. So, let's check out the famous Rene Gomez tackle one of the Sonar levels.
So this monster is sneaky, so I have to hit again. Alright, easy, easy, easy. La, lo, le, lo. Try again. Okay, how do you do this? This is too tricky. Easy, easy, almost there. Oh my god, I made it! Yes, okay. Ooh, the button is here. Oh, okay, I found another password. Beta, open the door. And it opens. Haha, success!
Sonar Studios would like to thank you for coming out and checking out our game. Please go to our website at sonar-game.com for more videos and to download our game for the PC. Thank you.
Oh, that was Devin. Devin was on that too.
So our next game is the last game made by one of the student groups.